Hello and welcome back. In this video we are going to finish off our Nim game, but it doesn't do any harm just to have a quick look at what we have gone and done. And so we've been putting in lots of comments and we will just quickly run through each section. So here we are, the game starts here. We're going to input how many coins we want in this pile. We're going to have a variable called pile in which we put that amount. We have a second variable called win, and this is set to false, and I promise you we'll see how this comes into play in this video. Choices is also a variable, but it is a list, and in this list we have values 1, 2 and 3. Then we're going to come on to a couple of functions. Let's see how this print asterisk function works. We're going to put in that pile amount, and then that's going to be taken over to the print asterisk function. What happens in here is that amount is put into the function, and then we have a count, and so for each number going from 1 up to the amount in the pile, we're going to have an asterisk. We put end and a couple of apostrophes to ensure that the asterisks are going to be in a line, and I'm going to put a little space here just to make sure we can see the asterisks clearly. Then outside this for loop we have a print, and that is simply to create a line for us, so anything else under that is easier to read. Going back down to this, once we have created our asterisks, we are then going to make our move, the user move. To do that we have the check move function. So let's have a look at this one. What goes in is the pile amount, so that's how many coins there are, and this value goes into this function, and what is asked is how many coins do we want to take out. Now providing it's 1, 2 or 3, that's fine, but if we start putting in more numbers we're going to get this reply back. Also we are saying that where our number we choose, it cannot be more than what is actually in the pile. And as I've said in the past, if you have a pile of just 2 coins and you want to take out 3, it's not going to allow you to do that. If everything is okay, it's going to return that number. Now from that number we want to take away from the pile that number. So if we had 10 in the pile, 10 asterisks, and we want to take out 3, then we're left with the new amount in the pile, and then that would be shown as the asterisk by again going to this print asterisk function. That covers everything that the user will do, and then it's going to be the computer's turn. Now the game revolves around this while loop, so it's the user's turn, then it's the computer's turn, user's turn, computer's turn, and so because we've got this repetition we can put it in a while loop, and the game will play as long as there's some coins in the pile. The first thing the computer is going to do is going to say that it's thinking, and we're going to create here a little bit of a pause by using the time method and the sleep method to pause everything for a couple of seconds. Then the computer is going to make its move, and we do that through the comp move function. So let's have a look at that. So here we are putting in whatever the amount is in the pile, and we are creating a random number. Now that random number comes from the list of values in the choices list. The computer is going to make a choice, and that choice is going to be a random one, and that's the value that goes into n. In order to go into this while loop, that number needs to be more than what is in the pile. If that is case, well, we go into this loop and a new random number is created. It goes into choices where those numbers are, it makes a choice, and that choice is random, and it's that number that is returned. So once it's returned to this point here, then the computer says, right, it will take out whatever that number is, and that is where we left it. So we're going to finish off this game by making some decisions. And the first thing is we want to, where this computer has moved out, we want to take away that amount of coins from the existing pile. So inside the while loop, and it's important not to be here because otherwise it won't be seen, we need to be inside the while loop, and we're going to put in this print underscore asterisk, and we are going to, we're going to have the pile minus the move. And it's always a good idea to use the drop down menu because it makes the typing a lot easier. And that's going to show the result. We also want to do this where we say the pile equals pile minus the move. So essentially we're doing it twice. In the first one we're going to be showing the answer in terms of asterisks, and in this one we are simply actually physically taking the money out or the value away from the pile itself. Now then, if the pile is less than or equal to 0, well, here we go, we can say win equals true. Break. So in a minute we will see how all this comes together, but what we have here is if the computer takes away money or out of the pile and it becomes equal or less than 0, then we're going to change that to true. Break means we come out of the loop. So essentially the user is going to win. Down here, however, we will have the hash player move, and let's do this one, move. So this is where the player will again go after the computer has had a move. So we do check move pile. So here is the computer move, here is the result, and then here we have the player going again. So he's going to take money out of the pile. This is the amount of money that comes in or is going to be taken out. We're going to show that result with the help of the print asterisk function. And we're going to say pile minus move. We're going to actually subtract it as well. And if after we have gone and taken money out of this pile and the result is that it's less than or equal to 0, then what will happen is that win remains false and we will come out of the break. So what's the result of this false and this true? Well, this is where we end the game. And so we'll do it this way. Hash game ends. Oh, and this needs to be outside the while loop because we've broken out. So we're right at the edge here. If win equates to false, well, the bad news is print you lose. However, if it is something which is not false, then the good news is print computer, print computer loses, and we will have that. Okay, so let's see if all that will work. Let's run it. Put in 10, your turn, I'll take out 3. It's thinking, computer will take out 1, I'm going to take out 3. Computer is thinking, and the computer decided to take out 3, and therefore the computer loses. So it wasn't a particularly smart computer, but we won. And so that shows that this basic Nim game works in its entirety. So make sure you've gone and got this. It's important that you understand what's happening in the code, so do have a chat with your teacher if at any point you're unsure, and then you'll be ready to modify this code to put a little bit of AI into the coding. So thank you for watching. Bye bye.